Yeah, just just feel like that last 12 minutes of the second half, we started playing Cincinnati basketball. I thought Dede Thomas diving on the floor for a loose ball that didn't even look like it was in his area, I thought kind of was the defining moment during that stretch. And, you know, so I thought that was good. We finally, our length at the rim finally became a factor in the game in the second half. I thought we guarded the three-point line better in the second half. Some of it was communication errors in transition or communication errors on broken plays, which we practice all the time. Give them credit. Like when you made a mistake in the first half, they made the shot. But I thought our defense led to offense in the second half, and it was a much better second half than it was the first half for us.
The communication stuff, how much is that these guys getting used to each other? How much is that maybe just not doing what they needed to do tonight in terms of identifying, you know, rotations and what they needed to do?
I just think it's like everything at this point in the year, it's figuring out the stuff that consistently wins and committing to doing it every single possession. That's the defining stuff within our team, right? And you know, tonight was good because when we didn't do that stuff, it wasn't a good result. When we did that stuff, we had a great result. So there's quite a bit you can learn from tonight.
After the first three games, are you pleased with the turnover situation from tonight?
Oh, tonight I'm pleased with improvement?
Well, you only had 10.
Oh, no, I'm not pleased with 10. I thought we still had quite a few careless, but it's been a big emphasis in practice. So big emphasis in practice to take care of the ball better. We've been working. We weren't having a turnover problem until the last week or so, a couple weeks. We stat practice every day. I think we got to get back to some fundamental stuff. Again, we started that the last couple days. We got to have a good week there, and we're gonna be a really good offensive team. But we got some work to do to get back to playing with the right pace and force and ball movement and decision making.
Was there any particular thing that kept Tyler off the floor for most of the rest of the game? Played 3 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, it was definitely. I wouldn't call it an injury, but it wasn't. It was one of those times where he just didn't feel right. And Bob said we're going to kind of hold him the rest of the game. So I don't have any update. I don't think it's something that's going to keep him from playing or anything like that, at least to my knowledge. But it didn't. Nothing happened. Just kind of didn't quite feel right. He did practice the last 2 days. He was a little limited yesterday. But again, we've been trying to be very cautious with him with his return, and I thought we really missed his energy tonight for sure.
All things considered, you go 6 out of 29 on threes, win by 17. You mentioned that it's kind of neat when things don't go your way and you still win. And I assume you still feel the same way?
Yeah, well, I think it's something that people need to understand about our team is one of the strengths of our team is three-point shooting. We're going to have nights that we shoot a lot of threes. You know, we're going to have nights we make a lot of threes, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's going to be nights that you don't shoot it well. But if you don't take the bad ones, and there's a couple tonight we'll look at and go, hey, I mean, in the film tomorrow, that's not a good one. But when you take the good ones, you should be on the offensive board. So even when you miss them, you should have a chance on the offensive glass. I thought in the second half we did a better job of that. You know, we're going to have nights it doesn't go in. There's going to be some nights it does, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I think you can still have success if you get to the board and you don't take bad ones.
What did you think about Keyshawn tonight? It seemed like he got a lot of run and looked like he kind of held his own.
Yeah, I was proud of him. And, again, playing freshman point guard is this level is very difficult. Been through it with a lot of guys. Did it personally. I mean, it's the most difficult transition there is to transition to college basketball at that position. And he's doing great. And he's had a great summer and preseason. And he's going through some of those transitions. And I've been really hard on him. One of the reasons I'm so hard on him is because I don't want him to play like a freshman point guard when we get to Big 12 play in January. So there's been some tough days. There'll continue to be because we have to get him ready for what I think he can do in our league. And I think he can do that this year. I have a ton of confidence. But tonight was a step in the right direction. I hope it gives him some confidence because he was able to go out there and make some good plays on both ends.
They had high praise for Buck and his energy in the second half. How did you see that just kind of carry over where you start turning these guys over at a rapid pace kind of in the middle or late in the second half?
Yeah, Sincere just has an effect on the game. I think everybody that watches knows that. And, he brings an energy to both ends of the floor. I thought, again, Day-Day's loose ball, Sincere's energy. I thought Baba and Moo defensively. I thought Moo was great in the second half defensively. And finally found some presence at the rim. But, again, I thought we defended the way that we talk about defending at times in the second half, and certainly Sincere has a lot to do with that.
You whined about rebounding them by 10. The two postmen had double-doubles. Did you have to give them a little urging early on? Because initially they had a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, Coach Dollar's the guy that is always responsible for our rebounding possession after possession, and we talk about it in every timeout. He always sets the tone there, and we were losing the rebounding war for a good chunk of that game. So it was certainly a big topic of conversation on the bench and in our huddles. But again, when we finally started playing Cincinnati basketball there in the second half, I thought the rebounding was a part of us playing better basketball. And then you look down and you have a good margin there at the end of the game.
It looked like Buck was a little passionate going into a timeout in the first half. Was that him trying to get guys kind of revved up?
I didn't see it. I think I was having a conversation with maybe Jalen Celestine or I think I was talking to Halveen. So I just caught the tail end of it. But come on, guys, this is competition, and we're all highly invested. Yeah, no, I'm like, I don't know what it was, but, that's normal stuff. Guys having passion and energy, and I'm that way. So, when you're that way in my seat, other guys are going to be that way at times. But it didn't appear that it had any negative effect on what was going on out there.
I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble, but when Scott and I were in the football press box last night, they had a live feed of Fifth Third Arena on one of the TVs, and it looked like Baba, Keyshawn, and Sean were kind of going through voluntary workouts. So I was just curious, is that something that your teams have always done, or is that something that those guys have kind of taken upon themselves to do and get those workouts in the night before games?
Yeah, what I tell you is these guys are really serious about hoops. They really care, and their work ethic is admirable outside of our practices. So that's not directed by us in any way. In fact, with a couple of them, some of the ones you mentioned right there, we're actually trying to get them off their feet a little bit more. And they're trying to approach it like not college pro. They're pros now, let's be real, but they're trying to approach it like pros. And they're still learning that sometimes approaching it like that means resting. Now, that's the kind of problem that I like. I like a guy that you got to pull out of the dang gym. So you just told on them, Keegan, because I didn't know they were in here. But that's how it's been. A couple of those guys and some others you didn't mention, they're in here in the morning, they're back in here late at night, and they're maybe doing that sometimes a little too much. But, again, those are the good kind of problems because they want to be good at their game.
Do you watch Louisville tape tonight, or do you try to get some sleep?
We'll go work on this tape tonight. It won't, this season, the coaches don't sleep during the season. That don't make our staff any different. That's everybody. But no, we'll go get to work on this tape in this game, and we have a big game. We all know it, and playing against one of the best teams in the country. That's one of the best recruiting classes. In the portal era that we're in, that might be one of the best recruiting classes in this modern era. We know a lot of those players, so we understand the challenge in front of us this week, but we can't look too far ahead. We got to get better in practice tomorrow, and then obviously we'll do our jobs as a staff to prepare the team for that game.
Halveen and Mustafa, they did a real good job on the glass in the second half. With Halveen having extra minutes, how proud were you to see him take that initiative to be on the offense and the defensive glass?
Yeah, we've talked about it. We have 11 that we think can be very impactful this year. And tonight I didn't play Jordy, and it really had nothing to do with Jordy. But I really wanted to try to give Halveen some real opportunity. He's going to be important to this team this year. And I thought he did some nice things in those minutes, and I think that's something that can continue. And we got to figure out how to find a place for Jordy as well. And so, that's the good kind of problems as a coach, is trying to figure out how to get everybody in the right spots, right rotations, right minutes. And it was good to see, again, those extended minutes tonight for Halveen and for Keyshawn. I think that'll help us down the road.
Day 3 fouls early in the second half, but your team kind of needs your spark and energy. What was that mindset getting back in there and kind of turn things around?
Just think I just got to be smart on defense, not just get little cheap fouls and not try to gamble too much and things like that. Just worry about the next play.
Was it human nature to overlook them a little bit, or what happened there?
Can you repeat that again?
Was it human nature to overlook them a little bit based on who you've been playing and who's ahead and all that, or they just gave you a tight game?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it was a good game. We don't never overlook our opponent. Everybody the same. So we just try to go out there and compete and just try to finish the game the best way we can.
Mustafa, it seemed like you might have been a little more active down low in defense, getting some blocks, which is something that you're known for. Was there anything different you were seeing? Was it just kind of finding you, or what felt different?
Just trying to execute whatever my coach tell me, trying to get some stops and trying to be more active. He literally told me that before the game. So I was just trying to execute that and trying to get doing.
Day. Lipscomb had 13 points in the first half, and then in the second half, you guys held them to 1. What changed in the second half on your defensive assignments?
I say Sincere Harris, Buck took the challenge on him and competed, and he said he was going to lock him up, so he took the challenge and did it. So we just try to have his back.
Mustafa, you guys got after it on the boards in the end, but at one point they were out rebounding you by quite a bit, 11-3, and then you end up out rebounding them by 10 in the end. What happened there, or did coach have to jump on you, or you guys just took it over, or what?
Yeah, during the timeout, coach just had to tell us, we got to box out and just pursue it all 5. So that's what we started doing when we got on the court, and then it works.
You've had a much larger role here offensively. How comfortable are you starting to feel? Can you feel it becoming a little bit more natural with what they're asking you to execute?
Yeah, I'm trying to, get used to what they're asking me to do here, which is really good for me. And then I trust Coach West's process, so I'm just trying to work and get better every day and getting more comfortable on the court.
Day, you've been through a ton of Big 12 games. So was there ever any doubt that you guys were going to make a run and just pull away?
Nah, I always just preach to the team, just keep playing to the time run out. Never just give up, because you see we made our run and we got back into the game, started playing Cincinnati basketball, playing defense, rebounding. So just doing little things.
Looked like first half, maybe the communication defensively wasn't there as much as it should be. Is that something you take upon yourself and Buck to kind of let the guys know we need to talk a little bit more and get more active?
Really, just the whole team actually just getting on everybody, just holding everybody accountable, just telling them, we got to play Cincinnati basketball, we got to play defense. We do this every day. We got to take pride and guard.
With Buck, he's out there locking people up. Did you guys kind of just feed off that energy? You feel like you guys just start turning them over at a rapid pace late in the second half?
Yeah, just feeding off his energy. Buck always have energy on defense, so just having his back and, just doing what we do. Just take care of the ball and, playing defense, getting back on the boards, because we wasn't doing it well first half.